and welcome in the news for tonight. The Prime Minister chairs a meeting on Jordanian pilgrims who died, were injured or missing during this year's Hajj season. The Public Security Directorate announces that security forces are investigating an incident involving explosive materials in southern Marka. And Gaza's health ministry says Israeli attacks across the Strip have killed more than 100 Palestinians and wounded nearly 170 in the past 24 hours. Those were the headlines, and now for the news in detail. Prime Minister Bishir al-Khassaune chaired a meeting of relevant ministries and bodies over Jordanian pilgrims who died, were injured or missing during this year's Hajj season. The Prime Minister extended his sympathies to the families of the deceased and wished the injured a speedy recovery and safe return home. Al-Khassaune stressed the need for closer cooperation and coordination between the various bodies, commending their efforts starting from the moment they learned about the deaths and injuries among the pilgrims. Meanwhile, the Directorate of Operations and Consular Affairs at the Foreign Ministry announced that 75 Jordanian pilgrims who were not among the official Jordanian Hajj mission have died from heat stroke due to the extreme heat wave that affected the holy city of Mecca during Hajj. Head of the Directorate, Sufyan Liqda, said 68 of the cases have received permits for burial in Mecca, while 7 more permits are currently being processed. Liqda also said that search operations are still underway for 7 missing Jordanian pilgrims. The Public Security Directorate announced that security forces are investigating an incident involving explosive materials in southern Marka district of the capital. According to the Directorate, a preliminary investigation suggests that a group of individuals stored quantities of explosive materials in a residence in southern Marka, southeast of Amman. Explosive ordnance disposal experts from the Royal Engineering Corps, in collaboration with security services, have safely detonated the materials on site after taking all necessary precautions, including isolating and evacuating the area. The Directorate said the investigation is still underway and further information will be disclosed once available. Foreign Minister Ayman al-Safadi expressed the kingdom's appreciation to Armenia for its recognition of the Palestinian state. During a phone call with his Armenian counterpart, Minister al-Safadi said that by recognizing the Palestinian state, Armenia was upholding international law, justice, and peace. Both ministers discussed Israel's aggression against Gaza, its illegal measures against Palestinians in the occupied West Bank, and its attacks on Islamic and Christian holy sites in occupied Jerusalem, including the Armenian church and its property. In Gaza, the head of the government media office said at least 42 Palestinians have been killed by Israeli attacks on the Shati refugee camp and the Tufah neighborhood in Gaza City. Meanwhile, Gaza's health ministry said Israeli attacks have killed more than 100 Palestinians and wounded nearly 170 in the past 24 hours. The ministry added that the death toll from the Israeli aggression on the Strip since last October has risen to over 37,550. It also said that another 85,911 Palestinians have been wounded in these attacks. In the West Bank, Israeli occupation forces detained 25 Palestinians, mostly in pre-dawn raids across the occupied territories. These Palestinian Prisoner Society said that the arrests took place in the occupied governorates of Nablus, Ramallah, Tul Karim, Hebron, and Jenin. That's the end of our news for tonight. Thank you for watching.